What's going on, everyone? So Dalton Knecht has done a much better job as of late. He just came out like, guns blazing right out the gate for the Los Angeles Lakers and was spectacular. I mean, dropped at a game 37 and it was just like, man, Lakers got the absolute steal. And then he went into what many kind of expected at some point, myself included. We talked about it here on this channel that Dalton Knecht would eventually go into a slump, that eventually Dalton Knecht would kind of hit, a wall a little bit. It happens. Even the best shooters hit walls. I mean, Steph Curry went on like a 3-game stretch where he was like awful. I mean, he had arguably the worst game of a superstar ever not too long ago, right? Obviously, Steph bounced back and was great against the Lakers, but it's the Lakers. But Dalton Knecht, right? Look, he's a shooter. He's going to have his good games, going to have his bad games. It's kind of the ebbs and flows of being a shooter. But like I've talked about, like, what else can you do, right? What else can you provide? Don't settle. Be aggressive, right? He's got good size, excellent athleticism, good foot speed, can put the ball on the deck, can handle it himself. And I really liked what we saw from him against Golden State. He had 13 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 9 from the field total. He was 1 of 5 from 3, so the three ball wasn't falling. But again, he wasn't settling, and I like that. Right? He saw the 3-point shot wasn't falling, so I'm not just going to keep jacking up threes and go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 threes. Now I'm 1 of 10. No, he said, okay, you know what? Tell you what, I'm going to beat this guy off the dribble. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to get to the basket. I'm going to find my spots. Right? I'm going to operate, pull up in the mid-range, something that he has. Right? I'm going to put the ball on the deck and create for myself here a little bit. Gave you a block. He's been rebounding great this season, but it's just like the last few games he's been solid. Right? He really has. He's been, obviously we need to see him continue. We need to see him kind of progress, but even in like the Detroit game, he played limited minutes, 16 minutes, but in 16 minutes, he got 4 shots, and he was 50%, right? 7 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 of 4 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, 2 of 2 from the foul line, right? But he's also been doing a better job defensively, getting after it defensively, being aggressive, and we need him, right? We need Dalton Knecht to be the best version of himself possible. We need Dalton Knecht to really start bouncing back, and I'm hopeful that these last, again, it's like 2 games. I'm hoping that these games have kind of shown, because he's been more aggressive. He hasn't been settling, right? You have the shot, take it. That's what you're there to do, right? You're the shooter. But he is the perfect complement alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I do wish that they would remember he's on the court more often than they do. I'd like some real design plays for him. I don't think that does him any favors, right? Because most of the shots that he ends up getting are through like broken plays or just like Dalton Knecht's out there on the kick out, right? Like it's not like there's no real structure with him on the basketball court, right? He's got to kind of gets the scraps. He's a bit of an afterthought, but he's a guy that we've seen can line it up in a hurry and go fast, right? But he needs to be able to impact the game in multiple facets, right? When his shot's not falling. I talk about it all the time with like Reeves and D'Lo and these guys. Right? I haven't been critical on Dalton Knecht because he is a rookie, right? It's his first year in the season, or the first season year, right? Rookie year. But also, it's the type of role and opportunity and limitations that he has, right? Like there's a lot that goes into it that I'm willing to kind of give him the benefit of the doubt thus far this season. Now, we start getting to year 2, 3, right? Things can change rather quickly. But even on the season thus far, right? Kind of go through the numbers, even with the slumps and stuff that he's had. He is averaging 22 minutes on the season in 30 games played. He's averaging 8 field goal attempts per game, shooting 47% from the floor, 4.7 3-point attempts, which is actually down. He was averaging, I believe it was 5.3. He's shooting 37% from 3-point range, which is still good, especially for a rookie, but he was shooting like 45, 46% not too long ago. So you can see the struggle. 2-point range, he's shooting 62% on 3.2 attempts. He has an EFG of 58%. 75% from the foul line isn't good. He had the first was it like 15 games, something like that? He hadn't like missed a free throw all season. But he's averaging 4 rebounds, 1.1 assists, half a steal, and 10 points per game, which is good, right? As your 8th, 9th, 10th guy off the bench, right? Like, we shouldn't be expecting Dalton Knecht to be your 5th best player, right? Like, he has his moments, he has his games. We've seen when he's cooking, get him the basketball, let him cook. Also, when D'Lo's out, you can see, like, D'Lo's one of the few guys that actually, like, remembers that he's on the basketball court and tries to get him the basketball. I'm not saying that means you don't trade D'Lo or anything like that, because I've said that before, and people will be like, oh, so what? And like, no, like, I'm just pointing out the truth, right? Like, I mean, there was a stretch, like the first 20 games of the season, Dalton Knecht and D'Angelo Russell were the best duo behind Jokic and Murray, right? Because Knecht was lights out, and most of the points that he was creating came from D'Lo, right? So, you have some things there is the point. But Dalton Knecht, right, obviously he's there as a shooter. That's his main kind of focal point that the Lakers want him to kind of maximize and utilize, right? But he's also more than that. We've seen him be more than that. The defense needs to be more consistent. Don't get me wrong, he's had excellent games and excellent sequences, and has done a good job moving his feet and staying in front of guys and defending. But he's also had some really bad ones, right? Like, he's had some really bad games where he's not doing those things. So he needs to find better balance. He needs to make sure that he's at least getting after it, even if your shot's not falling. But I think that a lot of that also goes into the rookie, right? Being a rookie. Now, your shot, like, you're there. If your shot's falling, you're going to get the minutes, you're going to get the opportunity, right? You're winning games, the media, the fans, everybody's just hyping you up, and it's this great feeling, right? And then you go on that slump, and you just, and something else that I've talked about too is, like, the problem is he doesn't get enough field goal attempts to shoot himself out of the slump. That's why I've talked about he's going to have a game where he ends up going, like 4 or 5 from 3, and then he'll get back to being the Knecht from earlier. But the problem is, like LeBron, for example. LeBron missed like 20 straight threes and just kept shooting 9 a game, right? And it's like, why? Like, what is he doing? And I'm not a fan of it, but he was doing it. He was trying to shoot himself back in a rhythm. He's trying to shoot himself back to knocking down some threes and seeing the ball go through the hoop, and it changes things. A guy like Dalton Knecht doesn't get that luxury, right? So he has to get out of his shooting slump, and some nights 2-3 attempts. I mean, he had that last Sacramento game. He didn't even get a field goal attempt, right? So it's things like that it's just, you got to get him looks, you got to get him opportunity, you got to keep him involved, you got to keep him engaged. Because if you don't, then it's going to extend these shooting streaks. I am glad, though, that JJ has stuck with him. I am glad that JJ hasn't taken him out of the rotation entirely or anything like that. I'm sure JJ, as a former shooter himself, kind of can understand and gets what it kind of Knecht is going through, right? Gets and has been there and done that. And again, it happens to the best of them. But how else do you impact the game, right? He's doing a good job rebounding the basketball. He's done an excellent job rebounding the basketball as, a 2-3 on the court, right? Like, he's not supposed to be getting 7-8 rebounds, right? Like, but he is. He's doing a great job. And he's getting it in, limited minutes on many times, on many nights, right? On many occasions. So the fact that he is getting after it and chasing down balls and, like I said, getting a block here and there and doing the little things, doing the dirty work, that's where it's important, right? He needs to keep being a guy that does the dirty work. He needs to keep being a guy that's out there, pressing and being aggressive and using his size and athleticism and his capabilities. When your shot's falling, everything's easy, right? Because, you're cooking. But when it's not, you got to know when to be able to attack and be aggressive. You got to know when to put the ball on the deck. And, the luxury that Knecht has that even many NBA players and shooters don't really have is that mid-range game. He's very good in the mid-range, getting to his spot, elevating, shooting over the top, right? We've seen it. We've seen it time and time again. You saw it, like, 3 times in the Warriors game. Even just using his athleticism, beat guys off the dribble and get to the basket, right? Like there's a lot of benefits to Dalton Knecht, but it's up to him to kind of maximize that, right? But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? I feel. What are your thoughts? Have you been impressed with the way that Dalton Knecht's been playing, even with the struggle shooting the 3 ball? He hasn't been settling. He's been aggressive. He's finding other ways to impact the game. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.